Love you, Sharon.
Well, I love you too. Big
Love you.
hugs. And big to everybody. Howdy, howdy. We're live now.
Hi, everybody. Big hugs.
Yes. And it's actually Friday. It's funny. Yesterday kind of felt like Friday. But today is actually Friday. And it's in France. It's also Bastille Day. So,
Happy
Vive
Bastille
la
Day, guys.
huh?
As they say, vive la France.
Vive la France. Yes.
Vive la France.
Yes. And what's interesting, a little bit of a tie in there. During the French Revolution, they experimented with a new calendar to try to move away from the old system, which, because at that time, the royal family and a lot of Christian ideas were all kind of tied up into one. So they wanted to move away from that. So they tried a calendar that was very, very similar to the Egyptian one. 12 months each of 10-day weeks, and with 5 intercalary days, just like what the ancient Egyptians had, just with different names and so forth. And I think I don't remember when the year was supposed to start, but the calendar never caught on, so they ended up going back to
5
the old
intercalary days. Does that mean we have 5 days of guilt-free calories? I could use 5 days of guilt-free calories. I really freaking could, man.
Well, guys, tell us what you think. Should the days on the year be guilt-free calorie days?
No.
I guess
5 plus years last year.
So yeah, y'all. Yamana and Shannon are thinking about it.
I'm just sad. All I want's a donut.
Yeah.
Oh, and I like it. Says LMAO, Darren, I love you.
I love you too.
Well, if I can not knock over something on my drafting table as I round the corner. Yeah, it's just because my drafting table is over here, so I just take the corner a little tight sometimes. But I'll try not to hang myself up on it as we get ourselves started. And I think I'm going to go ahead and turn the fan down a little. Just set it to medium. Hopefully that won't blow out the candle when we're lighting it. But and we'll probably do our New Year's Day live stream at 5:30, so we can catch some afternoon sunlight. And I tell you what, last year I had some party poppers, and I remember popping one of them. And now I have everything screened so that nobody else, can see what's going on in the backyard. But there's a swim club with the parking lot is just beyond, the backyard. And so I popped off a party popper, and then I heard immediately after this little girl squeal, in surprise and terror because she wasn't expecting that. I hate to say it, but I found it a little gratifying.
Yes, the screams of children are always amazing.
So we might do that this year.
Next time, get those little explosives that you throw and they pop.
Oh, snapping pops. I've probably the best use I've had for snapping pops is I did a couple of art projects in college where I took white poster board or mat board and threw snapping pops on them to get the scorch patterns. You get a little bit of a blast pattern. That's really fun for art projects. So yeah, this sort of stuff you figure out in college. These cool waters are upon my hands, and they purify me, as Tefnut purifies me. Hail unto you, initiative. We come unto you without falsehood and without evil. Our purity is upon our hands, our purity is within our hearts, and we've cast out all evil that pertains to us. And you're not yawning anymore, are you? We are pure, we are pure, we are pure, we are pure.
And a story shall be stuck to.
Yes. Just thought it was really funny. I'm about to put the water on, and I see you yawning, and I'm like, you won't be yawning in a moment.
Hard. Oh, hungry.
Well, I guess we'll have to have another meal when we're done. Oh, and we have on the offering plate some pumpernickel bread this time.
Cool.
So we'll have that afterwards. And pumpernickel bread and chocolate. But
Chocolate.
yeah. There it is. Come in peace, bright eye of Horus. Come in peace. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
The eye of Horus shines like Ra in the twin horizons, and evil hides in fear of it. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
The eye of Horus destroys the enemies of Ra in all of their abodes, till none remain. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
The eye of Horus comes to the four corners of the world, to everyone who's tuning in with us now and will be joining us in the future. This eye of Horus comes, and we are purified with it. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
So on this night, this day of days upon the year, we light the candle for Osiris, and now for Horus. His aspect is the elder, the great Horus. And for Mama Sekhmet, that she may protect us from the arrows of the year. And one of the things that we as Kemetics often have kind of a hard time stringing it in a logical framework. How is it that Horus can be the son of Osiris and Isis, and yet at the same time be born in the days on the year? And of course, if you look at it historically, Horus was worshipped long before the worship of Osiris gained prominence, and that was, his character was sort of woven into the story. But another way you can think of it is that all of the things that happened in that myth might have all been going on while they were still within the womb of Nut. And so, they were born one each day, but their story and their aspects had already, been developed by that point. Kind of a, like, how would I describe it? Like things, it's like within the womb of Nut was this whole other, time and place, and then manifesting in this world. I don't know. It's just kind of a thought. Make of it what you will. But Aaron, I think I'm going to have to make you some coffee. And by the way, I have been working on a calendar for the next liturgical year that will be starting on Tuesday. I've gotten as far as the beginning of April, and then my brain said, enough, tired, go to bed. So what I need to do actually with my folks on Discord who have been observing the lunar rites is I need to make sure that I coordinate with you on what days you're having for like the full moon and the new moon, because some sources will give it like a day before or after. And I want to try to coordinate with y'all so that we can have something, that everybody, it won't creep up on anybody. I can just put it on the website. It's all there. And
That's a nice way to make sure that everybody's included.
Yeah. Well,
and that everybody can join. That's even better.
Yeah. And so like if you have a particular patron that you follow, you can find out when their feast days are. And,
and I don't want to tell tales out of school, but everybody, I saw her working on it. She's not fibbing. She was working hard.
Yeah, it's kind of a brain drain sometimes, but it's okay. You do it once, you get it done, and then you don't. It saves you from crimping your brain later. So. You arise in the Aketis Capri, O Ra, spreading your light upon the earth. You set in peace in the mountains of Manu as a tomb, bringing your light to Duat. Shine upon earth as you do in heaven and Duat. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who came from noon at the first time, for such is your uniqueness. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Hu at your left side, for such are the words you commanded. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Sia at your right side, for such is your great wisdom. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, whose Hika goes before you, for such is your ability. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who rules with Ma'at upon your brow, for such is your righteousness. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, and hail and praise unto you, O Horus, and to you, O Nechidu, you lords of love and lords of life. Grant us life, well-being, and health. May our eyes perceive your goodness, and our hearts receive your wisdom. May you shine upon us as you traverse the sky, that we may bring to you Ma'at and cast out his Fet. And may you guard us from the evil one through the dark hours of the night, your protection being before us, and your strength being within us. Okay, I'm going to start a brand new one here. Take these, your cool waters, to try the inundation, that they may cool your hearts. O Horus, O Nechidu, these cool waters are the eye of Horus, that your hearts may be refreshed. Milk, milk, may you taste it in your shrine. May your hearts be refreshed with it. We bring to you this milk from the great flood, O Nechidu, that you may be purified with it. We give you incense. Give you incense, great purity. This incense is the eye of Horus, and its fragrance comes to you. It cleanses you. It adorns you. It takes its place upon your hands. O Nechidu, this incense is the eye of Horus, and its fragrance comes to you. Take this, your bread on which gods live, This bread is the eye of Horus, O Yenichidu. Lift it to your faces and be at peace with it. The gardens prosper and Hapi rejoices, overflowing with his meal. We fill the eye of Horus for you with wine, O Ra, O Horu, O Yenichidu. Drink and be pure. The doors of heaven and the doors of earth are open with libations for you within this house. May your faces be refreshed with your libations, your wine and your water. Pure, pure is Ra Horaketi within his house. Pure, pure is Horus the Elder within his house. Pure, pure are the cause of all of these gods, with this good myrrh that is given. Jehuti proclaims it. It is written in his house of sacred words. Hapi gives in abundance. Thousands of offerings, all things good and pure. For Ra Horaketi, for Horu, in every place that their immortal cause dwell. Come to your body, O Ra Horaketi. Come to your body, O Horu. Come to your bodies, O Yenichidu, and come to your invocation. Come unto us, your servants, who are mindful of your feasts and your offerings. Bring your power, your hika, your honor, and your ba to these, your offerings, and partake of them. Come, O people. Raise these offerings before the faces of these gods. Lift the offerings before Horu, before Ra. All life comes from them. All health comes from them. All stability comes from them. All good fortune comes from them, as it has since the first time. O Ra Horaketi, and your son, the Osir Nisu and Nebkefru Ra, your foes retreat from you. Horus turns himself to his eye. Turn yourselves to these, your offerings, and receive them from our hands. And from the table of the gods to the table of the blessed dead, we light this candle, that it may be the eye of Horus that lights their way in Duat. And we pour these cool waters from the table of Osiris, that their hearts may be refreshed. Horekeru, Tahenket, Kakao Abdus, and Neshermehat, Kutnibet Nofra Webet Anket Nasharim, and Kawen Akuku Nibu, Maahere Nibu Hiranachara. A voice offering, bread and beer, 1,000 of beef and fowl, incense, oils, and all good and pure things on which a god lives. For the cause of all of these Aku, all true of voice before the great God. Oh. And we come unto you, O Ra, as Jehuti comes, our hands joined under Ma'at. Ma'at has come to be with you in every place where you are. An offering of Ma'at is made unto you, that your heart may be pleased and your ka shall live. Truly you are in need, has Ma'at, for they know you live in her. The Aeneid says unto you, your word is law, eternally. His fat is cast out by your word. Rejoicing is yours every day. Ma'at has taken her place in your shrine. May we always act with gentility and compassion, for such is the first Ma'at. May we always offer charity and hospitality, for such is the second Ma'at. May we always respect consent and fidelity, for such is the third Ma'at. May we always avoid violence and promote wellness, for such is the fourth Ma'at. May we always speak words of truth, for such is the fifth Ma'at. May we always promote the public good, for such is the sixth Ma'at. May we always act humbly and with temperance, for such is the seventh Ma'at. May we always honor our gods and respect others, for such is the eighth Ma'at. May we uphold Ma'at like Jehuti, that we may witness Ra's perfection every day. Okay, I have a couple of things to read for us. One of which I found. Okay, where is it? Yeah, here we are. I was originally looking for something else, and this is in Ancient Egyptian Magical Texts. I think somebody on the Discord had shared it as a PDF because it was originally printed as a really short book. I think the original copyright date was in the 70s, but I just got it from library loan and Xerox copied it because it's it's a small book, so you can get 2 pages on one copy. And so this particular spell, it's 103 in that collection, but it's on the healing words of Horus. And so I wanted to share that. The words of Horus ward off death, and they restore to life the one with an oppressed throat. The words of Horus renew life and make lasting the years of the one who invokes him. The words of Horus extinguish fire. His speech heals a poisonous disease. The words of Horus mean saving a man whose fate stands behind him. The Hika of Horus wards off bows and makes arrows miss the mark. The Hika of Horus dispels wrath in the heart and soothes. And there's a lacuna, there's a space there, but we can kind of get a sense of the meaning. It offers soothing.
Yeah.
The magic of Horus, the Hika, cures one's disease. The Hika of Horus soothes the powerful fire and saves from an evil disease. So yes, Horus does cool things. And something else that I had written for him. Hail unto you, O Horus, defender of your father Osiris, and support of your mother Isis. You are the champion of Ra, who destroys his wicked foes. Lofty one, falcon of the horizon, shining like gold in the dawn. You establish Ma'at in her place, and you rule the living on earth as your father rules those in Duat. And I guess I have done it to myself because now I am imagining Kid Ptolemy.
Yeah.
As we had more good recording. Oh, Horus, your harpoon strikes the hippopotamus even though he is far away. So. And then, of course, our favorite, stab him in his junk, Horus. And if anyone hasn't seen that, that was our Triumph of Horus video that we released for December of 2022. It's worth it if you haven't seen it.
But wait a minute, I'm the king of food.
Yeah, well, what's funny about that is they're I don't think the Ptolemy in question who was of course the temple of Horus at Edfu. I think it took a couple of 100 years for them to finish it. But one of the Ptolemies in that string was a child when he ascended the throne. So the idea of having, a chibi Ptolemy is there's a point where it would have been kind of appropriate. And so the last thing we're reading is actually from, celebrating the Egyptian gods. Praise unto you, God of Behdet, Lord of the sky, splendid winged disk who shines in the horizon, you beautiful sun who illuminates the darkness, splendid child who illuminates the earth, iris of the Ujat who lights the two lands with his rays, fair of face, hovering one, armored, majestic, clothed in gold. You arise as Capri when you emerge from Nanette, your rays spreading over the world. Shine upon earth as you do in heaven. Enash harakoru nachirah nebhet. Bika sabshuti hekaneteb. Ap tepi dawi. Siach nimatan. Nachire bika nibit. Hail unto you, Horus, great god, lord of the sky. Great falcon, dappled of plumage, ruler of flying. Winged disk upon the two lands. Sia falcon united with the sun disk. Holy God, falcon of gold. Okay, guys, I'm going to catch up and see what we've got going in the comments, and if anybody's got any requests, go ahead and put those up here. Yeah. Okay. Oh, cool. So you got to go to the Louvre. Satyajiti got to go. Visited Paris once during a university trip. That sounds like a lot of fun. I would love to see the Louvre at some point, but I think it would probably have to be a couple of days worth of visit, because I suspect there's like so much stuff there, because you have the Egyptian collection, there's a Mesopotamia collection, and then let's not even talk about all the famous paintings.
Yeah, she wouldn't want to see any of that.
Yeah.
She'd be walking around the Louvre looking for a hot dog stand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm joking, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay, and Satyajiti is saying that about Horus and having having two statues of him, and yes, and showed up to me as Horus in general, and it's both Horus the Elder and as Horus Saset. Yeah. Yes, and don't forget to hit like. Okay, and Snarky Lucky may not be able to join the stream, but wants a cookie. Okay. Okay, yeah, Satyajiti got to see the Mona Lisa. Yeah, my understanding is that it's only about yay big. It's actually kind of a small painting, but there's, I had to take several art history classes, and Darren watched me snooze in them sometimes.
Fall asleep through many.
Well, actually, what's funny is I could sometimes go back and look at my notes, because I was taking notes as the professor was lecturing, and I could kind of tell where I fell asleep, because the words stopped making a coherent string. but there's probably lots of stuff that'd be like, oh yeah, suddenly I remembered seeing a slide of that in art history. But
I learned a lot of art history.
yeah. It's kind of cool. I have to say I respected my professor because he originally went to school in law, and he became a lawyer, and he was apparently a
Very good one.
yeah, like a corporate lawyer or something. He got to travel all over the world, but he decided he hated it, hated the business of being a lawyer, and it was kind of cutthroat, and he didn't care for that. But he enjoyed getting to see all of the places, like he saw Hagia Sophia in Turkey, and like I think the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem and things like that. And so he was like, I want to go back to school and do that. It was less money, but he was doing what he loved. So he was an art professor, and I'm like, you know what? I got to respect that. So yeah, and any time that like the class did terribly on a test, he would wear his tie of the Scream. The famous painting by Edvard Munch. He'd wear that, like the day after the next class day after the test, and that's how we knew that. Oh yeah, we all kind of bombed on that one. So okay, we got several requests for cookies because on the sarcastic can't be with us, but asked for one. Jory and Seta on the Facebook chat also requested one, but the first thing we've got to do is get the fortune for everyone, because we have our other two from Erie Moseit and from yesterday, the birth of Osiris. So those two were your mentality is alert, practical, and analytical, and then your spirit of adventure leads you down an exciting new path. So let's see what Horus has to tell us. And that was not it, because that was a fragment of a cookie. It's funny, I was just thinking, Horace's lines that you had read, Darren, about, the fifth harpoon stabs him in his ribs. Yeah. So then we have a cookie fragment fly out. So, And it says, to make dreams real, first you have to have them. Wow. Darren? Are you okay? All right, I had to check on you, man, because, I had to make sure you would respond when I shook you. But we just pulled our fortune for tonight. Okay, as I was just reading, say on Wednesday we had your mentality is alert, practical, and analytical. Yesterday, for the birth of Osiris, your spirit of adventure leads you down an exciting new path. Now, from Horus, to make dreams real, first you have to have them.
Shit. Y'all, pay attention.
Maybe we need to start buying lottery tickets, y'all.
Yeah.
Actually, that reminds me of a joke that a friend of mine told about the guy that he goes to church, and he's saying his prayers, and he says, well, Lord, I've lived a good life. I've given to the poor. I've been active in my church, and done all done right by my wife all these years. Could you please help me to because I've been a virtuous servant. Would you please help me with this one thing and help me win the lottery? And he hears God answer and says, well, you're right. You've done all these great things. And, I'd love to help you, but son, you've got to buy a ticket. Got to buy a ticket first.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
the moral of that story is you've got to work toward your dreams, and The one thing you've got to do to win the lottery is buy a ticket.
But Horus.
Unless it's Shirley Jones the lottery, then you're just screwed.
Oh, that lottery. Yeah. Yeah. No, you mean Shirley Jackson?
Yeah, Shirley
the
Jackson's
short
the
story.
lottery.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you haven't read that, go ahead and read it.
Yeah. But yes, yes. Just to read it one more time, I put it in here. Yes, to make dreams real, first you have to have them. Okay, so let's see. Trying to go in order of request here. Yes, Seta had. Bless you. Seta had asked for one, and then Jory. Praise Shu. Then Snarky, and then going down from Kit Fox. So, okay. Now we'll have to, I guess, save this one for Seta. But it says, listen to what you know instead of what you fear. And that's for our friend Seta. And since she is his devotee, I'm going to put that next to Set's icon. So when she asks, well, I'll take a picture of that and I'll send it to her. So this one is for Jory. Yeah, and I know he has a beloved grandmother who's the anniversary of her passing is around this time of year. So prayers for him and for his grandmother. And his fortune. The greatest goodness is a peaceful mind. So we'll have to pass that on for him. And I tell you what, I will tuck it under my geode here. Okay, and for Snarky, now it's Sarcastic's turn.
No way.
Yeah, no way.
I'm being sarcastic and snarky.
Yeah.
Love you.
Okay, so pass this on for Sarcastic. The one who does more than they are paid for will soon be paid for more than they do.
Hot dog.
The one who does more than they are paid for will soon be paid for more than they do. So don't hold back saying this is, this is beyond my pay grade. If you go the extra mile, you will be rewarded for it. The one who does more than they are paid for will soon be paid for more than they do.
Yeah, remind them of all you do.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay, cool. We're done. Caught up. All right, so Kit Fox. And then, it's been so long since I took our history. Albrecht Dürer, I know the name, and I've probably seen work of his in Dr. Zoll's class, and just cannot, pull it off, the top of my head. But, okay, but
Art Dude.
Huh?
He shall be christened Art Dude.
Well, there's lots of those, but I know there's more recent work. And it's probably one of those things that's fairly famous that and be like, oh yeah, that, But I know that a lot of my professors were real big fans of the Impressionists. So, and I tell you what, you haven't lived till you've taken an art class. with a teacher who has a redneck accent.
All right.
Charlie Me's, oh,
hot
yeah,
damn.
talking about Matisse and all them cats.
Them cats. I freaking loved him. I thought he was.
Oh God, yeah, yes,
He looked like he belonged on a construction site. And
yes. Oh my God. Well, that and the fact that he apparently he knew my uncle. Because he asked, are you related to Glenn Lamore? I'm like, yeah, that's my uncle. Oh yeah, I know him from.
I'm sorry.
I'm just like, what kind of a world am I in now? Again, I was taking this was a printmaking class, and like I said, it's kind of weird to hear him start talking about famous artists in a like
Complete redneck accent. I mean, these cats knew what they were doing. Look at this line quality. It is consistent throughout. Now, today we're going to talk about printing. I'm like,
yeah, that's more or less it. And anybody who's familiar with the original Transformers, we were convinced he sounded like Ironhide.
Yep.
It's like, okay, if Ironhide were an art teacher, this would be the guy I've got. So yeah. But we digress. So Kit Fox, then Dragon's Library, then Jessica Langto. So okay. Kit Fox. The measure of time to your next goal is the measure of your discipline. So the measure of time to your next goal is the measure of your discipline.
We've heard that before.
Yeah.
And Ujjayi.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? There's okay, this is rather interesting because there was another fortune that kind of got caught in the machine, and I'm trying to see if I can don't wait, okay, hang on, because I'm wondering if I can actually piece this together. And this would be an interesting addition to your fortune if I can actually make sense of this, because I can tell that something got kind of caught up in the machine, and there's like a little piece of it. This is some real, reading tea leaves here, y'all. Speaking of Southern accents. Okay, something. I think it's don't okay, I believe what this says. Don't be fooled by your problems. Be led by your dreams. Is what I'm getting from this. So, Kit Fox, that's another one for you. So you have, the measure of time to your next goal is the measure of your discipline. Don't be, fooled by your problems. Be led by your dreams.
wow. Okay. Look, for those of you who aren't paying attention at home, the measure of your next goal, the distance to your next goal is the measure of your discipline. Be disciplined and don't let shit distract you.
Yes.
Focus and you got this.
Yeah, and that's really interesting because, like I said, that one got crunched up in there, but that's what I could piece together. So that's very, very interesting. But okay, so Dragon's Library. Dragon's Library. Happiness is not a reward, it's a consequence. Happiness is not a reward, it's a consequence.
In other words, happiness is the consequences of the way you live your life.
Yeah. It's not something that's given to you, it's something that you built.
Yes.
It's a consequence. Make it so, number one.
Yes.
Okay, so Jessica Langtote and then Sachihuti. Okay. Jessica Langtote. Have a vision. Be demanding. Have a vision. Be demanding.
In other words, be insistent. Stick to it.
Yeah. But you know, it's rather interesting. In order for dreams to become real, first you have to have one. And this one is saying, have a vision. Be demanding. Yeah, that's.
They're telling us the same thing tonight.
Yeah. Well, and remember, this is the birth of Horus. Horus is the hero of the Assyrian cycle, and he's telling us, go after it.
Who's next?
Sachihuti.
After Sachihuti, can I have one?
Okay, well, you know what? Let me get through the ones here, and then because we're about to open up another bag,
That's cool.
so you can get the first one out of the next bag. So. There we go. Sajihuti. Advice, when most needed, is least heeded.
Ooh.
So don't be that person. Advice, when most needed, is least heeded.
Right. I know a lot of folks that are guilty of that.
Yeah. Yeah, you tell them not to do something and they do it anyway. We have all seen this. Oh, by the way, do you know what they're doing with the clan? Are they going to go ahead and do matches with?
I have no idea what they're doing on the game. I haven't been on the game since
the
all
other
that crap started.
Okay.
And my response to them is, whatever they do, they'll do it without me.
Yeah. We gave advice, whether they heed it or not is up to them. But advice when most needed is least heeded. Okay, so Laurencia, Madiana, okay, and then Married to Wepawet. So this is for Laurencia. Expect much of yourself and little of others. Laurencia, expect much of yourself and little of others. Speaking as someone who is a perfectionist and tends to be that way towards others, you have to consciously tell yourself, no, they're not going to be as thoroughgoing and conscientious as I myself am. So expect much of yourself and little of others. And let's see, Laurencia, then Married to Wepawet, and then Serrano. Nope. Well, Married to Wepawet, you've got two. First one, Domestic conditions demand your attention. And now the second one. Little acorns lead to mighty oaks. So, Married to a Poet. Domestic conditions demand your attention. Little acorns lead to mighty oaks.
Wow. Now listen.
Hmm.
If this person has children, now think about that.
Well, Married to a Poet, you'd have to.
If you have children, think about that.
Now, if not.
If not, think about that anyway.
Huh.
Who knows what may be coming? But the other thing is this. Take care of the little things now. They can lead to big things later.
Okay. And now for Serrana. Don't worry, there's more after this. I've got another bag. So there we go. This one's for Serrana. Oh, there we go. It's hiding it. Okay. Do not wish to be anything but what you are, and try to be that perfectly.
I don't think there's anything more clearly stated.
Serrana, do not wish to be anything but what you are, and try to be that perfectly. Because only you can be you perfectly. Okay. Okay.
Let me go check that.
Yeah, and it's funny, Sagittarius saying, I often tend to give people advice, but most people often tend not to listen to me, so that's very fitting, yes.
I'll get my fortune when I get back.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, yes, and I already have, or it could be, okay, so Married Webwood has 4-footed children, so fur babies.
Still.
Okay.
Still applies.
Alrighty. Yeah, that's right. Let's see. I can't remember the time difference with Germany, but I do know that. See, during the pandemic, we were tuning into Paul Van Dyke's Sunday sessions.
Yeah.
And it would start around noon, I think, our time.
And it was around
8 o'clock in the evening, their time. So we were watching the sun go down from Paul Van Dyke's apartment in Berlin. I think it was actually overlooking the river.
So they're 8 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, something like that. But it was a lot of fun. I really loved the Sunday sessions. And he's Darren's not a fan of techno very much, but Paul Van Dyke really grew on him. So. But yes, if anybody's got any other requests, oh, that's one other thing that I can do. I completely forgot about that. Because we have some spells that are specifically for the days on the year, and those also come from that same book, Ancient Egyptian Magical Spells. And so this is for a salve protection against the plague of the year. And it says, I am the anathema that has come forth from Dep, Meskenet that has come forth from Yunu. Men, gods, Aku, and dead ones, keep away from me, for I am the anathema. And another protection. I am one who finds himself safe on the road of the Sao demon, translated as the passer. Shall I be hit when I am safe, though I have seen a great thunderstorm? You flame there, do not attack me. I am one who has escaped a thunderstorm. You keep away from me. Likewise, another protection, and this one addresses Horus. Hi, Hanu, rejoicing in jubilation. Don't take this Ib heart of mine away, this Kati breast of mine for Sekhmet. Don't you take this liver of mine for Osiris. Don't let the hidden things inside of Pe come to an end on the morning of reckoning the eye of Horus within the temple. Oh, every male Ach, every female Ach, every male dead, every female dead. The manifestation of any animal, anyone snatched by a crocodile, anyone bitten by a snake, anyone felled by the knife, anyone who passed away in their bed. O Kaitiu, belonging to those in the retinue of the year and its 5 days, take heed. Horus, sprout of Sekhmet, place yourself behind my body, that I may be kept whole for life. Now this last one would be recited over, it says, words to be spoken over images of Sekhmet, Bastet, Osiris, and Neheb Kau, drawn in myrrh ink on a fine linen bandage, to be worn at the throat, so that, a donkey, or it says here an incubus, may not enter into them on account of the beautiful one, nor a goose attack them. And I put a note in here about possibly referring to the poultry of Shu. But of course, anyone who's ever encountered geese, they can be kind of aggressive. So, but that's something that you can do, during the days on the year is. And actually, my friend who's with the Kemetic Orthodox, they would do that at their retreats, which they do in the beginning of August. But spells, which would probably include this one, drawn in ink on a strip of linen, and then knotted and done kind of like a necklace, something that you can wear as an amulet for protection. So it says the life protection of Neith is behind me and before me. The fire spewing of Bastet will fail against this person's house. Say this spell while holding bunches of fresh plants, which looks like it was tacked onto the first one, addressing Horus. But yeah, if you go on the Discord, and if some we'll put a link for the Discord, if anybody's watching, and wants to hasn't joined. I know someone had put up a PDF of the Egyptian magical spells that would be in. So that's a way of plugging the Discord. And that's really cool what you're describing, about Ra standing on top of your Kafraka shrine, and now is facing the sun. You're getting charged up and ready to go for Egyptian New Year. So, footsteps to the moon. Hi there. We're kind of getting towards the end of things, but hey, if you'd like a fortune, there's one cookie left in the basket. And mine stands at the bottom of my shrine, so the foundation to all. That's cool. And usually, when we're not having service, my statue of Mott is actually at Ra's feet, because he's on a pedestal, and so she's right there, she has her place in his shrine. But yeah, footsteps to the moon. Just let us know. Sure, I'll take one. Awesome. Because this is our last one from this batch. I'll be opening up a brand new bag for tomorrow, but this one will be for you because you tuned in at just the right time. And Darren wants one, but I told him he can pull one out of the fresh bag when I open it. So, footsteps to the moon. Let your hook be always cast. In the pool where you least expect it will be the fish. So to read it again, let your hook be always cast. In the pool where you least expect it will be fish. And something to keep in mind with that, we pulled a fortune that was for everyone for this year. And this is from Horus, since this is the birth of Horus today. And his message was to make dreams real, first you have to have them. So the overall theme for tonight has been be active, go for it, take those opportunities. And when you consider the kind of personality that Horus is, it makes sense. And especially it's interesting when you compare with last night, because several people got the same fortune last night. And so I saved one of them here, and it said, do not worry about holding a high position. Worry rather about playing your proper role. Now, the thing to keep in mind is that Osiris was Pharaoh of the living. Now he's Pharaoh of the underworld, basically. But, it's interesting that someone who has a kingly position says something like that. He's has a way of saying that everyone fulfills an important role no matter where they are. So worry about playing your proper role. And of course, Horus being, the hero of many Egyptian myths, is telling us, you can't have a dream come true if you don't have one to start with. And he's telling us to, especially for the year ahead, I think this is a positive message, to have dreams and to go for them. Now, it'll be interesting tomorrow to see what Set has, to sort of counterbalance everything. Or he might be reinforcing it. We'll have to see tomorrow. And there's a statue that I'll look forward to being able to inaugurate and use for the first time for his birthday, which I was going to use 1 month ago. And then we had those storms that came through and knocked out the power for 4 days. So, instead of having it for his feast day in June, we'll have it for his birthday. So, I guess we'll go ahead and start wrapping up. And if Darren can make it back, then we'll pull his fortune. And if not, then I'll just have to have him pull his afterwards. But, of course, if anybody else tunes in and is, catches us at the last minute, that's okay. Just, give us your prayer requests or your request for a fortune. We're here until everybody gets what they need. Oh, there you are. Okay. Hang on. Well, let's do that real quick.
Sorry, everybody.
Now, 6 personal data. So that's very cool. Now, so okay. We will open up a brand new bag of cookies. And now, do you just want to pull it straight out of this bag, or want me to put it in the?
No, I want you to put it in the.
Put it in the basket. Okay. So we'll load them up in the basket.
And then you can do the shake thing.
So you want me to go ahead and do?
Yes.
Okay, because you could pull one if you wanted. But...
I'm going to.
Okay. So you want me to shake it up and then hand it to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Say when.
Wait.
Dude, you're sitting there pawing all the cookies.
That's right. I was going to lick them next too.
All right, well, I'll open this one. So this is Darren's fortune. I think one thing Horus would tell you is don't be too critical of your voice work. You did fine.
Okay.
All right. The one who hesitates is last.
Yes, sir.
The one who hesitates is last. So there you go, Darren. Yeah, so speaking of our overall message from Horus.
Yeah.
So yes, and tomorrow night we will be celebrating Set. That's going to be interesting. Okay. Hail unto you, Atum. Hail unto you, Capri. You come into being upon the primeval hill. You shine forth upon the shrine of the phoenix in Unu. You breathe out Shu and Tefnut. May the giving of these offerings endure, as the name of Atum, foremost of the great in need, endures. May they endure as the name of Shu, Lord of Upper Menset in Unu, endures. As the name of Tefnut, Mistress of Lower Menset in Unu, endures. As the name of Geb at the Earth's Ba endures. As the name of Nut in the Shrine of Shenit in Unu, endures. As the name of Osir, Kentiamentiu endures. As the name of Asat in Echeru endures. As the name of Sutek in Nubet endures. As the name of Horus in Pe endures. As the name of Wajit in Dep endures. As the name of Jehuti in Chamenu endures. As the name of Ra in the Akhet endures likewise for eternity. You have come in peace, O Ra. You have come in peace, O Horu. You have come in peace, O Yunachiru. May you go forth in peace, O Ra. May you go forth in peace, O Horu. May you go forth in peace, O Yunachiru, to every place your immortal cause wish to be. May you sail in joy in the Manjet bark, and rest content in the Sektet bark. And may you smile upon us, your humble servants. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, Sakchahidi, still the old, not revised version of Following the Sun. Maybe one day I'll get the new version. Yeah, I was able to add in some other things and make some corrections and adjust the font down. So
it's spectacular. Everyone should have one.
Well, yeah, we'll see. Just changes that I made, and there's more information I was able to put in,
right.
in the revised edition. It should be available also as a digital form. You should be able to get it if you go on Lulu as a digital book. That would be easier to get because you're not having to ship something. And if anybody's had any trouble with that, then tell me so I know to go and fix, whatever issues there might be.
Yeah.
Oh, and B says, I was able to tune in, but only chat until now. Hi, everyone. If I haven't missed the cookies, can I have one? Sure.
Sure.
Well, yeah.
Hang in there.
Okay, yeah. And Vesper, my copy of Following the Sun arrived today. I'm very excited. I'm excited too.
Thank you.
That's great. Yeah, and I was saying Google Books. Hopefully, yeah, it's not a case. I was a little upset with Google Books because I noticed that you could preview the vast majority of Circle of the Sun, which is that one has a lot more rituals and things in it, a really really useful book. But like I said, that one. Somebody pointed out that you could go on Google Books and read the majority of it, and so that's a problem that I've had. Have
you taken it off of Google since then?
Well, here's the thing. Okay, that I had to go and change some settings on Lulu, which might have influenced what Google is able to see, but that's something that it goes on between Google and the publisher, Lulu in this case, and it's a little harder for me as the person on my end to actually influence, unless by changing my preview settings that fixed it. I don't know.
Well, maybe I'll go on Google Books and try to find it.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe. Yes, and I do need to get more copies so that I can put autograph versions in my Etsy store. So
Right.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
thank you guys. If you really
yes.
want to support her,
Well, yes, and thank you, but
buy from us.
yeah, and I love you guys for that. And B needs a cookie, so
Time to give B a cookie.
yes. Wow, the theme continues. B. Today it's up to you to create the peacefulness you long for.
Be the change you wish to see.
For our friend B. But today it's up to you to create the peacefulness you long for.
Yes.
And just to bring you up to speed a little bit, B, we pulled a fortune for everyone. This is the Horus's oracle for his day on the year. And it said, to make dreams real, first you have to have them. So, and then pair that with this one. Today it's up to you to create the peacefulness you long for. So that fits with the with Horus being a deity of energy and of action.
Right.
Go-getterness and doing the right thing. So that's all in his purview. And so tomorrow night we will be honoring Set and seeing what he has to say.
So everybody gets set.
Get set. Yes.
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. All right. Well, thank you guys. Okay. Yeah, and hey, don't worry. Yeah, that's why we have it. I think there are people that they can't catch us live, but they'll catch us later in the week,
Right.
or during the weekend, or they'll listen like while they're at work and
Right.
things like that. And yeah, so that's why we make sure to pull a fortune for everyone. And that's also why when I'm lighting the Eye of Horus, it's for everyone that's tuning in that moment and who will be catching us, later on. It's for them too. So we're still thinking of you.
Right.
So. So you guys have a great night/day, and join us Saturday night for the birth of Set. Okay. Yes, if he says, thank you so much. Seems Horus has some things he was intent on saying. Absolutely. Well, much love, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you then.
Bye-bye.